What if the man standing next to you at the gas station was one of the FBI's most wanted? In 2025 Q1, 10 fugitives remain ghosts in the system, slipping through borders, changing identities, hiding in plain sight. Their crimes? Cold-blooded murders, billion-dollar fraud, ruthless gang activity, and every one of them has evaded justice. From a murder in a Maryland donut shop to an international crypto scam that rocked millions, these stories aren't fiction. They happened, and the people behind them are still out there. Why hasn't Bhadresh Kumar Patel been caught after allegedly killing his wife and disappearing into the night? What happened to the so-called crypto queen, Ruja Ignatova? Did she vanish, or was she silenced? And how does a former Olympic snowboarder end up running a deadly drug cartel across borders? This isn't just a list. It's a map of the most dangerous minds still at large. Each name holds a chilling mystery. Each face hides a dark secret. Before we dive into the dark world of America's Most Wanted, take a second to subscribe. This channel is all about chilling true crime stories. The number 10 on our list is Ryan James' wedding. What happens when Olympic dreams crash headfirst into a world of cocaine, cartels, and cold-blooded murder? Ryan James' wedding wasn't always on the FBI's radar. In fact, once upon a time, he was Canada's golden boy, a national athlete representing his country on the slopes of the Winter Olympics. Young, ambitious, and charismatic. The kind of man you'd see on a cereal box or at a motivational school assembly. But behind the clean-cut image was a storm quietly brewing. And when the fame faded, something darker took its place. After his athletic career fizzled out, Wedding didn't just disappear from the spotlight. He dove headfirst into a much more dangerous arena: international drug trafficking. According to U.S. federal authorities, he became the mastermind of a vast, multi-million-dollar cocaine distribution ring, trafficking the drug across North America. But that's not all. The operation, they claim, was backed by violence, murder, threats, and blood spilled in the shadows. Wedding allegedly used his charm and business acumen to build a criminal empire that masked itself as legitimate trade. The kind of operation that doesn't just make money, it makes people disappear. So how did a snowboarder go from the podium to public enemy? Reports suggest it started small: partying, then smuggling, then full-blown leadership of a syndicate that moved massive quantities of cocaine with frightening precision. When the walls finally closed in, Wedding didn't just run. He vanished. Today, he's one of the FBI's most wanted. Believed to be armed, dangerous, and still deeply connected to international trafficking networks. Authorities say he could be anywhere, living under a new identity, protected by the very cartel he once ran. You might walk past him on a crowded street. He could be sipping espresso in a quiet European cafe, or lying low somewhere in Latin America, shielded by corruption and cash. But one question still hangs in the air. Did Ryan James' wedding fall from grace, or was this the plan all along? Have you seen Ryan James' wedding? Someone out there has. And until he's found, no one is safe. The number 9 on our list is Francisco Javier Roman Bardales. Suspected MS-13 leader involved in drug trafficking and human smuggling. He doesn't have a famous face. You won't find his name in the headlines. But in the shadows of America's most violent criminal networks, Francisco Javier Roman Bardales is a name whispered in fear. He's not just another fugitive. Authorities believe he's a high-ranking figure in one of the most ruthless gangs on Earth, MS-13. Known for its brutality, its reach, and its unrelenting grip on the streets. Roman Bardales didn't just join the gang, he climbed the ranks. Fast. And as law enforcement tried to track the flow of drugs, guns, and bodies, his name surfaced again and again. But who is Francisco Javier Roman Bardales? And how did he become one of the FBI's most wanted? According to federal agents, he's not just involved, he's a suspected orchestrator of human smuggling operations, moving people like cargo across borders with zero regard for safety or life. Women, children, families, promised a better life, only to be extorted, trafficked, or worse. Add to that large-scale drug trafficking. Cocaine, heroin, fentanyl pumped into U.S. cities from international suppliers, with Roman Bardales believed to be coordinating the flow like a dark puppet master from the shadows. He's suspected of managing operations with military-style efficiency, moving contraband through hidden routes, using coded messages, encrypted apps, and loyal gang foot soldiers to protect every link in the chain. And when things don't go according to plan, MS-13 doesn't negotiate. They execute. That's the level of violence investigators say Roman Bardales commands. He's been charged federally. He's evaded capture. The number 8 on our list is Fausto Isidro Meza, alleged leader of the Meza drug trafficking organization in Mexico. In the cartel underworld of Mexico, names become legends not for what they build, but for what they destroy. And Fausto Isidro Meza is one of those names. They call him El Chapo's ghost competitor, a man who rose through the ashes of chaos to become the alleged leader of the Meza drug trafficking organization, an empire fueled by cocaine, blood, and betrayal. But how did he do it? And why is the FBI hunting him with everything they've got? Born in Mexico's Sinaloa region, the same cradle that birthed some of the most notorious cartel bosses in history, Meza built his kingdom not by chance, but by strategy. He understood the game early: control the routes, control the trade, control the power. Authorities believe he commands an international smuggling operation, moving massive quantities of cocaine, heroin, methamphetamine, and fentanyl into the United States. Not just once, but constantly, quietly, ruthlessly. The Meza organization isn't small time. It's suspected of being tightly structured, militarized, and lethal, armed to the teeth and loyal to no one but the dollar. This isn't a man running from the law in fear. This is a man operating like a ghost, always one step ahead. According to the FBI, Fausto Isidro Meza is not only a cartel boss. He's a phantom with influence buried deep in local governments, security forces, and border crossings. He's suspected of using narco-bribes to buy silence and narco-violence to enforce it. And when rivals get in the way, they disappear. Permanently. What's more terrifying? He's still out there. Free. Hidden. And protected by an army of shadows. Is he tucked away in a mountain fortress? Hiding in plain sight under a new identity? Or still pulling strings from deep within cartel territory? The US government is offering a reward for information leading to his capture. But in a world where loyalty is bought and silence is deadly, who's brave enough to speak? Fausto Isidro Meza isn't just a fugitive. He's a cartel king still at large. And every day he breathes free air. The drugs keep flowing, and the bodies keep dropping. Have you seen him? Because the FBI wants him, and the streets want justice. The number 7 on our list is Fugitives Innocent, leader of the Haitian gang Crosby, wanted for kidnapping and murder of US citizens. What kind of man dares to kidnap US citizens and live to taunt the world about it? His name is Fugitives Innocent, but don't let the last name fool you. He's no innocent man. The FBI believes he is the ruthless leader of one of Haiti's most violent gangs, Crosby, a group so feared in the streets of Port-au-Prince, even the police think twice before entering their territory. But Innocent isn't just a threat to Haiti. He's now a global priority because his crimes have crossed borders, shattered lives, and forced the FBI to put him on the most wanted list. In October 2021, a group of 17 missionaries, men, women, and children, were kidnapped in Haiti. The group included 16 Americans and 1 Canadian. The world watched in horror as demands were made. Ransoms set. Lives hung in the balance. Behind it all, according to federal charges, was Fugitives Innocent. U.S. authorities allege that he orchestrated the kidnapping, using it as leverage for ransom and power. Cold, calculated, remorseless. But kidnapping isn't where his crimes end. The FBI says Innocent is also responsible for multiple murders and is part of a larger network that smuggles weapons, terrorizes communities, and silences anyone who dares to stand in his way. His gang, Crosby, translated as break barriers, is exactly that. A barrier-breaking storm of violence that has flooded Haiti's capital, leaving fear in its wake. Local authorities are outgunned, outmanned, and often outnumbered. Innocent operates like a warlord, protected by loyal gunmen, hidden in strongholds that no outsider dares approach. U.S. officials warn that he's extremely dangerous, heavily armed, and fully capable of striking again. So why hasn't he been caught? Because in the lawless zones of Haiti, Fugitives Innocent is more than a fugitive, he's a king. And bringing him to justice means going deep into gangland, where power shifts daily and death comes without warning. The FBI is offering a reward for any information that leads to his arrest. But here's the terrifying truth. Even with international pressure, Innocent remains untouched, out there, somewhere, planning his next move. This isn't just about Haiti. This is about a man who kidnapped Americans and dared the world to come find him. Have you seen Fugitives Innocent? Someone has. And until he's found, no U.S. citizen is truly safe in the region. Justice has a long memory, and this man just made the wrong enemies. The number 6 on our list is Wilver Villegas Palomino, believed to be a high-ranking member of the ELN, a Colombian guerrilla group involved in drug trafficking. What happens when terrorism and drug trafficking collide? You get a man like Wilver Villegas Palomino, strategic, elusive, and deadly. He's not just another cartel boss. Authorities believe he's a high-ranking member of the National Liberation Army, or ELN, Colombia's oldest and most dangerous guerrilla group, a militant force born in rebellion and funded by blood money. But how does a rebel soldier become one of the FBI's most wanted? And why should you care? Wilver Villegas Palomino isn't just fighting a war. He's allegedly profiting from it. U.S. federal agents say he plays a key role in ELN's massive drug trafficking empire, an operation that ships billions of dollars worth of cocaine straight into the veins of American cities. But unlike your typical trafficker, he's not operating from a cartel mansion or behind high walls. He's hiding in dense jungles, surrounded by insurgents, protected by ideology and AK-47s. The FBI claims he oversees entire cocaine labs, supervises armed convoys, and commands foot soldiers who enforce his rule with absolute brutality. And his reach? It doesn't stop in Colombia. His drugs are traced to Miami, Houston, Chicago, destroying lives, fueling addiction, and driving violence on American soil. And now, the U.S. government wants him. Badly. He's been indicted in the Southern District of Texas for conspiracy to import cocaine. There's a $5 million reward for information leading to his capture. $5 million for one man. But catching him is no small task. He's believed to be deeply embedded in the ELN's jungle hideouts, protected by a rebel army that knows the terrain better than any outsider ever could. He has the loyalty of militants, the profits of a kingpin, and the cunning of a ghost. So what happens if he's not caught? The drugs keep coming, the violence keeps spreading, and a man wanted for terror and trafficking remains untouchable. Have you seen Wilver Villegas Palomino? Someone has. But speaking his name out loud, in the wrong part of Colombia, could cost you your life. If you have not subscribed to this channel by now, I don't know what you are waiting for. Subscribe now. The number 5 on our list is Omar Alexander Cardenas, accused of a 2019 murder in Los Angeles, California. Can one single bullet change your entire life? For Omar Alexander Cardenas, it did. But he wasn't the victim, he was the trigger man. It was a summer evening in Los Angeles, 2019. A normal night at a barbershop. Laughter, conversation, the hum of clippers. Until one man walked in, pulled a gun, and shattered everything. Authorities say Cardenas fired multiple rounds toward a man sitting just outside the barbershop. But the bullet that hit wasn't meant for the victim. The man killed that night, 27-year-old Jabali Dumas, wasn't part of any feud, wasn't armed, wasn't a target. He was just in the wrong place at the worst time. And before anyone could react, Omar Alexander Cardenas vanished. He's now one of the FBI's 10 most wanted fugitives. The FBI is offering a $100,000 reward for information leading to Cardenas' arrest. Somebody knows something. Somebody has seen him. The question is, will they come forward or stay silent? The number 4 on our list is Ruja Ignatova, known as the Crypto Queen, wanted for defrauding investors of $4.5 billion through the OneCoin cryptocurrency scheme. What if I told you the world's biggest crypto scam wasn't pulled off by a hacker in a hoodie, but by a woman in heels, holding a microphone under the spotlight? Her name is Ruja Ignatova. The world called her the Crypto Queen. But behind the diamonds and designer dresses was a $4.5 billion lie, one that shook the global financial system. She promised a revolution. She claimed OneCoin would replace Bitcoin, that it would turn ordinary people into millionaires, that it was the future of money. But there was one problem. OneCoin wasn't real. From 2014 to 2017, millions of people across 175 countries invested their savings, some even mortgaging homes, to buy into the dream. But the blockchain? Faked. The platform? Smoke and mirrors. And the money? Gone. And just when regulators began closing in, Ruja vanished. October 2017. She was supposed to board a flight from Sofia, Bulgaria, to Athens. She never arrived. Some believe she changed her appearance. Others say she bought protection from powerful criminal networks. Have you seen Ruja Ignatova? Someone has. And until she's caught, the legend of the Crypto Queen only grows more dangerous. The number 3 on our list is Ulan Adoni Archaga Carrillas, alleged leader of the MS-13 gang in Honduras, wanted for racketeering and drug trafficking. What if the most dangerous man on this list isn't hiding from the law, but ruling from the shadows? Meet Ulan Adoni Archaga Carrillas, known on the streets as Porky. Don't let the nickname fool you. He's not some petty criminal. The FBI believes he's the violent heartbeat of one of the most feared gangs on the planet. Authorities say Carrillas isn't just smuggling drugs into the U.S. He's coordinating hits, laundering money, and building networks that stretch from Honduras to Houston. The gang he leads thrives on fear, extorting local businesses, threatening police, and executing anyone who stands in their way. The violence isn't random. It's calculated, controlled, and that's what makes Carrillas so dangerous. He's not acting alone. He's allegedly built alliances with other cartels and transnational crime groups, creating a network that's almost untouchable. He's a phantom in a country torn by corruption and chaos. Every time the law gets close, he's already gone. Interpol wants him. The FBI wants him. Even elite Honduran task forces can't seem to corner him. Why? Some say he is helping high places. Others say he's buried himself so deep within MS-13 strongholds that dragging him out would start a war. Ulan Adoni Archaga Carrillas is not just hiding, he's thriving in the underworld. And until he's caught, MS-13's grip on the America's only tightens. He's not just a fugitive. He's a king without a crown, ruling a criminal empire from the shadows. Have you seen him? Or has he already seen you? The number 2 on our list is Alejandro Rosales Castillo, accused of the 2016 murder of a co-worker in North Carolina. What makes a teenager turn into a killer? Love? Money? Or something much darker? Alejandro Rosales Castillo was just 17 years old when he made the FBI's most wanted list. Not because of who he was, but because of what he did, and who he took from this world. The year was 2016. The victim? 23-year-old Truckwan Sandy Lilu, a kind, hard-working woman with her whole life ahead of her. She was Castillo's former co-worker. Some say they had a brief relationship. Others say Castillo owed her money. But none of that explains what happened next. On August 9th, Sandy vanished. For days, her family pleaded for help. No signs, no calls, no clues. Then, 8 days later, her body was found in a wooded area outside Charlotte. Shot once in the head, left like garbage. And her car? Missing. Authorities believe Castillo lured Sandy under the guise of repaying a debt. But it was a trap. And when she met him, she never made it back. After the murder, Castillo fled North Carolina. But he wasn't alone. He took his new girlfriend, Amia Feaster, with him. Together, they crossed into Mexico, where they vanished off the grid. Amia was captured in 2017 and extradited. But Castillo? He disappeared like smoke. No phone, no paper trail, no social media. Since then, Castillo has become one of the youngest fugitives ever placed on the FBI's 10 most wanted list. Have you seen him? The number 1 on our list is Bhadresh Kumar Shitambai Patel, wanted for the 2015 murder of his wife at a donut shop in Hanover, Maryland. How far would you go to hide a murder if the victim was your own wife? It was a quiet April night in 2015. The soft hum of machines filled the Dunkin' Donuts shop in Hanover, Maryland. The shift was almost over. Customers gone. The ovens cooling down. But what happened next would shock the nation and spark an international manhunt still ongoing today. Inside that shop were 2 people, Bhadresh Kumar Shitambai Patel, 24 years old at the time, and his wife, Palak. They were both working late. No signs of trouble, no screaming, no struggle heard through the walls. But in the span of a few seconds, everything changed. Patel allegedly struck his wife multiple times with a blunt object. So viciously, so suddenly, that she died on the spot. Why? Theories vary. Some say she wanted to return to India. Others say there was tension over their immigration status. But whatever the motive, what he did next was even more disturbing. He walked out, calm, unbothered, left her lifeless body behind. No panic, no call to 911, just gone. Investigators say he fled to Newark Penn Station that night and bought a ticket to JFK Airport. But he never boarded a plane. Since then, silence. Bhadresh Kumar Patel is now the FBI's most wanted man. And what's terrifying is just how invisible he's become. He may be hiding in plain sight, living under a new name, supported by distant relatives or underground networks. Some believe he fled the U.S. Others say he's still here, tucked away in a quiet community, never speaking a word of his past. What kind of person does this? Kills someone they claim to love, runs, and vanishes for nearly a decade. The FBI believes someone out there knows something. Maybe they've seen him. Maybe they're helping him. But the truth? Time is running out. She was only 21. Her life ended where she worked. And the man accused of taking it never faced justice. Have you seen Bhadresh Kumar Shitambai Patel? Or has he disappeared into the crowd forever? This isn't just a manhunt. It's a reminder that even monsters can wear ordinary faces. These 10 names aren't just fugitives. They're reminders that evil can wear any face, hide in any corner, and vanish without a trace. But justice doesn't forget. Neither do the victims. And neither should we. Because sometimes, the smallest tip cracks the biggest case. If this video gave you chills, imagine what we've got coming next. Subscribe, turn on the bell so you never miss a new upload. And as always, stay safe, stay aware, and I'll see you in the next one.